In the last vlog, you guys saw that Zach and I were shutting off a lot of sprinklers. There are still a couple more on. Also, guys, I have a GoPro. I am in love with it. You guys have already seen a couple of TikToks and Instagram videos filmed vertically with this thing, and I'm in love. Thank you guys for the suggestion. This was the coolest thing I could ever do for vlogging. But until I get completely transitioned over to a laptop, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to hear that. You don't care. Zach is off, shutting the rest of the sprinklers off. I didn't go with him because I decided to can like an animal, and I canned a million jars of salsa and a bunch of like jelly and all that. My garden's making a comeback. So really hard decisions being made right now, but I enjoy running grain carts so much that I have to abandon my garden for this season. It'll be better next year, but of course now everything is producing the most amount of peppers and tomatoes all year, so I'm kind of in the middle of a weird time. But grain carting is number one priority, and it only comes once a year, and you only do it for a few weeks and then it's done. So that's my top priority right now. Thank you guys for the support. Let's cut over to Zach so he can shut the rest of these freaking sprinklers off, and we can call it a year when it comes to watering. All of my friends and followers up north, they talk about not needing irrigation. You guys are so lucky, but also I understand having to stress about weather and getting tore up by storms, because that is no fun. So let's cut over to him. I'll shut up.
Well, pulling up to shut two more off. These are the two right here at our house. Got these two and two more to go in about another hour. We'll be done. Simple as this. Actually, this one doesn't have an auto slowdown on it, whatever you want to call it, a decel time. So I'm actually going to slow this one down by hand. Pretty much all our other ones over here, you just flip it right to off and it'll just auto slow down nice and slow. This one's not that way. If you flip it off, it just bangs to a stop, which I think is fine, but I don't know. I don't like hearing it clang to a stop. So I just turned the hertz down really low. I'll let it slow down some, then I'll turn it off. Catch up with you in a second. We'll let this spool down. All right, now that she's slowed down. That's simple. I'm gonna go ahead and put the hertz back to what I was running at this year. That way, come next year when I fire up, I don't have to try and remember what hertz I was running, which I have it written down, but still, just to be safe. And I like to check all these fans, make sure they're all blowing, just so if they're not, I know I need to come back here and change them this winter. Shutting the drip off. We'll walk over here and kick the power off to this whole setup here at the pole. Somebody needs to mow out here. Somebody being me. Just haven't had a chance, and it just rained. There we go. But anyway, about another hour, hour and a half. The last two will be done. And we are done. Done watering for the year. I wish I could describe this feeling, because after watering for several months and worrying about sprinklers every night and them waking you up and checking them every day, not that it's hard. None of it's like hard work per se. It's just monotonous every day. They're running 24 hours a day. It just gets to be a lot. I need to come get that fertilizer pump, but I don't think I'm gonna worry about it right now. I got some stuff to go do at the house, and Jordan and I will run around here later. We'll snag the rest of these. Not much longer now. I'm sure she's keeping you up to date. We got like 2 to 3 inches of rain over at the other farm, and that corn is pretty close to ready. So it's gonna be a while on it. This stuff now, you know, we got 3 weeks. It'll be ready. 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. Well, got a couple circles that'll be ready a little sooner than that, but for the most part, 2-3 weeks. I know we're talking about trying to take some more wet corn over here, which would be kind of cool, just to break it up a little bit. But it all kind of depends on if we can get back in the field over at the other farm. We still got 8 or 9 circles to do over there before we can come over here. So that's kind of dependent on that. If we can get that done, we might sneak over here. We've got a couple circles here that are going to go back to wheat this fall. So if we can come over and take them wet, we might do that just to get them out of there. Save on some hauling because the feedlot we haul to is a little closer to here than the regular elevator we go to. And then also we get it out of there earlier and get our wheat in whenever we want to after that. So, yep, last 2 are off. Everything is off now. We shut everything off between yesterday and today. I know Jordan's already got y'all up to date, but we ended up getting like 2.5 inches of rain. That pretty well finished off everything we got over here at Moscow. And then we got some cool weather coming now, cool nights, 50-degree nights, 50, 60-degree nights, and lots of 60, 70-degree highs, which is great. Blake's corn over at the other farm, that stuff's all pretty much made. I mean, it's drying down the last, 5%, 6% or whatever before it's going to get combined. But over here, some of this corn is still, gosh, half milk line or less even. So this stuff still has some finishing to do. So hopefully this will help it fill a little bit, add a little test weight. We're done. Water 2023, irrigation 2023 in the books. Reaction.
What, all the sprinklers off?
Just shut the last well off. What's your thoughts?
About damn time.
Can you describe the feeling of the first night that no sprinklers are running? I keep saying that I wish I could. I wish I could describe the feeling of watering all year, and then the first night you there's nothing running at all.
Like your brain is no longer thinking of other things and wondering if something's gonna happen in the middle of the night, because that's how it is.
It's almost like you can't sleep as hard because
you're always the one having to get.
And I've been saying that it sounds so dumb. I know people are gonna listen and be like, "What?"
But your sleep schedule's probably gonna go good now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as kind of like you have an infant, but it's just getting us ready for having kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're on another road trip. I meant to do a little video in this morning, but I'm kind of just now waking up. Doing the same run I did last time. This is our last trip, by the way. Taking our last corn head to Ray, Colorado, which is where I'm at right now. I'm gonna drop it off. Then I'm going to head up to Scotts Bluff and go pick up our Draper head, which we haven't even talked about that yet, which I'll show you guys once we get up there. But it is an HD 45R that's going to go on our X9. Pretty excited about that. That ought to be a pretty nice fit for that combine, I think, and especially in irrigated wheat. But got gone about 3:30 this morning. It's 7 o'clock right now, just pulling into Ray. Gonna get this thing all dropped off and do the last 3 hours or so up to Scotts Bluff. I'll fill you in here in a little bit. Well, I feel like I start out every video by saying, well, I'll have to try to quit that. Don't mind the overhang. It's a farm setup. This header barely fits on this trailer. This is a 42-foot trailer, 45-foot header. And I mean, it is close. I had to take the fenders off. I don't love that, but dang it. We just don't use header trailers hardly ever. We can pretty well move everywhere with headers on. We pretty much just use trailers to set the header on during the winter. So we were really hoping this trailer would just get us by, which I think it will. I mean, all the weight's up here anyway. I think it'll be okay. The trailer looks nice. It's actually sitting pretty level. Looks like the weight's nice and spread out on it. Oh boy. 7 hours to go and we're done with these trips. We're doing it. Scotts Bluff. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Hopefully, what I'm hoping is the next video you see is me sitting in the driveway at home, because that means I had a really uneventful trip. But if something exciting happens, I'll make sure I try to video this time. And also I'll go over this header a little more once I get home. Being it was my last time through here, I had to make a quick pit stop. You can't see the sign, but I'm at Cabela's. Sorry, Jordan. Had to do it though. Needed to check everything over. been wanting to stop anyway. So I did it. Cost myself about an hour. Ironically though, I'm not leaving with anything. Back on the road, 5.5 hours to go. Did you get one little bit of excitement? And I didn't get to video it because it was in the middle of town. But I had a shield fly open. I don't know when, but I didn't see it till I got to town because it's dark. So I had to pull over in the middle of the 4-lane, jump out, do an emergency zip tie. And then come to find out the pin is right here, so the pin must have just fallen out. But either way, this will get me home. 20 minutes. 20 minutes away, we're gonna be home. Oh, I'm pretty excited to be done with these trips, even though, I mean, this has been cool, but goodness.
The next morning.
Morning, guys. There she is. On my way to go get the cats, and Zach is still sleeping. I honestly don't know how he survives these road trips because he'll not go to bed until really late the night before he leaves. So he'll sleep like 3 or 4 hours, and then he'll go on a trip like this and drive 14 hours. And he'll be chipper and happy. Well, not all the time, but he'll be alive when he gets home. And that's all that matters. Right after this, I was on my way to the barn to open it up, and I forgot to show you guys that we finally adjusted those doors. Now nobody can say anything. Okay, they're really easy to open now. We should have done it a long time ago. I, in fact, did throw my back out once doing this, but it's all good now. But basically, I went into the barn to clean, to leave him alone while he slept, because I didn't want to risk waking him up at all, because he was literally in a sleep coma. It was really bad. Or really good, I don't know. He's alive. He slept a lot. Thank God. I was worried he was gonna wake up early and just starting his day off being exhausted. But he got a little bit of sleep. I left him alone and I cleaned the barn. So now he's gonna go get the forklift and take this baby in the barn.
I'm not too big on sleeping in, but I was tired.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be awake that
That was a long day.
Zach made me sit in the back seat of his work pickup because
You lost your privilege.
I lost my front seat privileges. No, we're about to go pick up Blake, and then they're gonna go try some. Oh my God, I just like popped my back in a bad spot.
This is weird.
Yeah, I know. Okay, explain what we're doing.
We are still waiting on the ground to dry out over at the East Farm.
From
It's
that
still
rain.
pretty wet.
Yeah.
We got like the same amount of rain here. He's using a banana as a banner. We got the same amount of rain here, but our ground is a lot sandier. So we've got a couple circles that we do a corn wheat rotation on. So basically these 2 circles are going to go back to wheat, and we just caught some rain, so it would be a nice time to drill some wheat. So instead of waiting on this other corn to dry out, we're going to move over here, sample this corn, and it is wet. It's going to be wet corn if it does go. But if it's in the right range, we're going to go ahead and pick these 2 circles. That way we can get this drilled to wheat, and then we'll move back to Sublette. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Or we're going to try these 2 circles right here if this ground dries out. But this is heavy ground right here, and it stays wet. But after we finish these 2, we're going to try these 2, and if they're good as well, we're going to go ahead and pick these as well wet, because these 2 circles got smashed by hail pretty bad.
In the beginning.
They're really weak. Like they're starting to all
Brittle.
tip over and drop ears. So if these 2 circles are dry enough, we're going to go ahead and pick these 2 as well. Then we're going to move back to the East Farm and start picking dry corn over there, because that corn is very close to being dry to go to the elevator. Things are probably going to change, but loosely as of right now, that's the plan.
So we'll see. I guess I'm going to ride with him in the tractor.
Yeah, so basically right now we're going to go get the combine and 1 grain cart, and then she's going to bring the pickup back, and we're just going to test the waters and kind of see where we're at, see how dry the ground is. That's the only thing with here is we kind of got to be careful with this, because we're going to no-till wheat right into it. So we don't want to pack the ground down tight if it is wet. But I think it'll be okay. We're kind of at the point, we need to be going on something. We've got corn that's ready. We've just kind of got to go. We got to go somewhere. So we're going to go somewhere, and we're going to do something.
Hey! I'm filming on the GoPro, guys. Hey. to see the action, I think, because I got a wider lens. This is my first time filming on one. So hopefully this all works out. But he got it emptied out, so I guess I can kind of head down here. Y'all see him? Really far away. I just said I was GoProing.
GoProing?
Yeah. He's making fun of me. How dare you!
Just put my hat back on so you can see my receding hairline.
I'm keeping that in. Did you see him? I'm so happy. I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome. For all the random people that donated, like, and said that, you know, it's specifically for a GoPro, thank you so much. But y'all don't know how much that means to me. I don't need y'all donating money to anything. And for you to do that anyway, that was really, really cool. So I appreciate it. All of this pushed me to do it because, like, I might as well make really good quality content for you guys. So cool, I'll check back in with you later. I'm gonna play with this.
Well guys, here's another day. Picking corn. Hopefully, if things go smooth, we got one more circle right over there of wet corn we're gonna do. And then we're gonna go, well, it won't be today, but we need to go try some dry corn over on the other farm. So far today, things are going smoother than yesterday. One little coolant leak on this, but it was no big deal. It was just a clamp. It wasn't holding. So far, so good. This corn is running awesome. Better than we were hoping, that's for sure. I was hoping this field might make 220, 230. It got twisted up pretty good in the wind, and it got hailed on a couple times. And like I said, we got that late heat, which this stuff did hold up pretty good in that heat, I will say. It actually stayed looking good for most of the time. But don't know exactly yet. My moisture monitor is kind of messed up because this stuff's so wet. It's grinding it and putting fines in the moisture monitor, and it's making it not read right, which then messes up your yield. But if our math's right on the first half of this field, our dry yield, it should have done around 265, which that's great. It makes me wonder what could have happened if it wouldn't have got beat up so bad, but shoot, we're very thankful for that. It's doing awesome. This was a really nice stand in this field too, which was really nice to see. So gets us excited. Hopefully the rest of the stuff over here at this farm is gonna hang in there and be good. Jordan's doing awesome as always. That's her right there. She's kicking butt. I know I've said it before, still can't believe how quick she caught on to all this. Like, I don't know, like, it's hard to put that in perspective. She had like never ever been in a tractor before last year. Trained with me in the grain cart for a couple days, and I mean now she's just a pro. We're on to the next circle. Got the first one finished, just got this north one to knock out. Hoping we can do it, get it done today, but I don't know if it's gonna happen with the feedlot shutting at 8, but I'm really embarrassed to show this, and I really don't want to. But it's a good representation of how much our irrigation does for us. So all this corn right here, it's all twisted up, looks rough from the hail, but it's still doing 260, 270. We had some problems with plug nozzles on this circle. I'm gonna show you. They plugged about 3 weeks before we shut sprinklers off. There's one, there's two. That ain't obvious. Ugh. Make you sick to your stomach. But yeah, we shut this one down 3-4 weeks before we shut these off. We shut the engines down and changed oil, and I guess apparently this sprinkler didn't stay full of water and it had some nozzles plug off. And normally I'm pretty good about checking them, but I've never had issues with this one plugging before. But I mean, look at that. That's crazy. That's what 3 weeks with the sprinkler not running in these spots did. It took this 270 corn and it took it down to 140 corn is what these dry spots are making. That's just sad. Live and you learn. I will definitely be paying more attention to this sprinkler next year, which this one will be wheat next year, so it'll be a little easier to see. But, oh, another spot. Goodness. We live and we learn.
Well guys, it wouldn't be harvest if we didn't have some issues is what I'm hearing. So in the next video, you guys are gonna see a mess of a problem we ran into with the combine and the unloading auger apparently. Wet corn and or high moisture corn is a whole different animal as opposed to dry corn. Apparently it's really easy to clog up your auger. So in the next video, we're kind of gonna go over how we kicked off Harvest 2023. Because of the weather, we were forced to pick the wet corn, and so we're gonna come across some problems, but that's just how it goes. Thank you guys again for 65K. I love y'all. Don't know what else to say. I will see you guys in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye.